Let's see what Biden's up to.
This is the United States of America, for God's sake.
Hello, everyone. I've just tested negative for COVID-19 after isolating for 5 days.
Yeah. Yay, good job.
Thankfully, I'll not
Build
be able
back
to return to
better.
work in
Blah,
person.
blah, blah.
I want to thank you all for your well wishes, your prayers over this past week and the calls I've gotten. I also want to thank the medical team here at the White House for the incredible care they gave me. Fortunately, God willing, my symptoms were mild. My recovery was quick, and I'm feeling great. The entire time I was in isolation, I was able to work, to carry out the duties of the office and without any interruption. It's a real statement on where we are in the fight against COVID-19.
Okay. Sure.
All right. A couple fibbles there.
It just needs to be said that he was on Paxlovid, and whether or not he is testing negative or feeling better right now, keep an eye out for the old Paxlovid rebound. I think I would not have celebrated this early if I were him or the White House handlers, because
it doesn't matter. The facts don't matter as long as you get the press op.
Infamously, the Paxlovid rebound, especially for older people. It's very possible he will test positive again in like 3 days. Yeah. So that'll be exciting. We'll keep an eye out for that.
Well, it's funny too, because he was going for a cough, a little clear throat cough, and they, ABC, who clipped this, cut it off right there, right before the cough. He's fine. He's fine. He's tested negative.
Fine. Don't ask questions.
Over the weekend, though, Joe Biden also had this little video that went viral. This was shared by the Democrat Party Twitter page.
Insurrection and pro-cop. You can't be pro-insurrection.
Oh, hold on.
You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-cop. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-democracy. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-American. Donald Trump lacked the courage to act. The brave women and men in blue all across this nation should never forget that.
Okay. So people were talking about it.
First, I just want to comment on what he said. This pro-insurrection thing, it's just not very useful. It's not for anybody except for Democrats. And I think that's why it was kind of, on the Democrat Twitter. This was a party message. This was not a president message. This is
right.
You know what I mean? The fact that it came out on the Democratic Party Twitter says more than what he actually says in there, because nobody would claim to be pro-insurrection. That is Democrat Party language, not language of the President of the United States. So this was a midterm campaign operation here, this video, and just not very useful and stupid. But that's not even the most important part of the video.
Yeah, so I've shared this on Twitter, and I could be completely wrong here, but I was looking at this video, and people were commenting on his glazed over eyes. He never blinks in the video, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, that's the place to start. Okay, we don't need to get quite yet into the conspiracy theory, but you look at him, his eyeballs look insane. He looks like a madman. Especially because he famously has his squint, the Joe Biden smolder, which is, instills confidence into the American people. In this video, his eyeballs are open wider than possibly they ever have been in his entire life. They're humongous. He looks all bugged out, and honestly, he probably is all bugged out. I mean, that's not even crazy. They give these guys all sorts of shots and things to amp them up for speeches and videos and things like that. He looks insane, and he does not blink the entire video, which is just its own, maybe he's a lizard person, so maybe he licked his eyeballs like extra sloppy before they started rolling. But it gets even weirder.
Yeah, so I was sharing on Twitter that I said I don't think it's a deep fake, but there were some deep fake qualities, and I'd be interested to see the opinions or hear the opinions of some of our deep fake producers.
I'll give you some opinions.
But I just took some screenshots of moving between frames, and of course, this can possibly be just the issue with the frame rates and stuff.
Yeah, it'd be more like a compression issue, maybe.
Right.
Something like that. Just the artifacts, the digital artifacts of an online video. I do want to say, for those who are just listening, when you watch the video, it's got kind of an uncanny valley feel to it. Like, even if you don't go into like really deep into trying to figure out what's wrong, it just feels weird. It doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
But you went ahead and got in there nice and tight on his eyeballs.
Yeah. So I did a little editing and I screen captured just me moving between frames. And there is a moment at the end of the video where, and this is what I noticed was kind of weird, was at the end of the video, there's a moment when Joe says something and his whole face, from like his eyebrows down, so like his eyes, his nose, his mouth, that moves up and down at the same time, but his forehead doesn't move and the rest of his head doesn't move.
Yeah, and that's really one of the sort of things that says deep fake to me, because for the people who have done deep fakes or looked into them, when you're deep faking a face onto somebody else's face, you really just take the facial triangle,
right,
and you transpose it onto the other face. It's artificially intelligent, sort of done automatic process, but you just take a very small triangle right around the eyes and the eyebrows, and then down the cheekbones to the lips, beneath the lips there. It's a very small triangle of face that you actually move. And yeah, when you're going frame to frame here, if you're just listening, went back and forth a couple of frames, and you can clearly see the eyes, the eyebrows, the nose, and the mouth like floating independent of his head. It is the weirdest looking thing.
And it's not edited, or there's no smudge tool or any kind of After Effects going on. This is pretty much the raw video we got. So
yeah,
and it is.
That would explain the quality issue, the digital quality issue, because that's one way to hide deep fakes or fake videos in general. Is you do the deep fake, but then you kind of you export it as a lower quality, so it doesn't quite come across online as clearly, and so you can kind of hide some of the imperfections with the lower quality video. It is so blatant. It's almost like they're asking for the conspiracy theorists to go off. This very well may just be like bait for the right or something.
Could be. Yeah, I don't know, but we'll see.